Dirt roads to rock crawling, two-buck chuck to screaming eagle, moonshine to 50-year-old single malt. We talk about it all here on Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey with your hosts, Jason and Chris.
Welcome to Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey Podcast, episode 257. Hello, Chris.
Hey, Jason. How you doing?
Doing good. Here we are.
Talk loud to speak over this vast distance that we're speaking over.
Well, the Cat 6 cable that Lorenzo ran from Minden to Livermore is working pretty good.
Oh, that replaces the can with the two cans on the string?
That's right. That's what we had before. Now we got the Cat 6 cable, so we're doing good. This is good. Modern technology. All thanks to our listeners that support the podcast. Thank you for paying for that Cat 5 cable installation. Lorenzo's labor was free. We actually hooked him up with some friends along the way between Minden and Livermore, and they fed him, and I guess a couple of them gave him some whiskey too.
Well, that water truck wasn't carrying water; it was carrying whiskey.
Is that what that was? Okay, perfect. So spring has sprung.
Yes, sir.
And I'm kind of sad.
Well, the great melt and the great sun warm days are happening. The sun is out, and it's perfect timing because it's just I'm ready for it. Tired of being cold.
Yeah, no, I could still take the cold. It was nice. I played in the snow one last time this weekend, and that's it.
It's your last hurrah?
Well, last hurrah for the snowmobiles, and then we'll get some skiing. But I got some stories to tell. But let's get into some of the business before we get into the fun stuff.
All right. Well, I'd like to give a shout out to our good friend Austin over at Irate 4x4, who's a great supporter of the show and other shows, of course, but we're not going to mention them. We'll give them no airtime.
Wow.
But Austin has done a great job, giving us a voice and a location to speak freely, if you will, whether you're talking about Toyotas or Jeeps or anything in between.
Yeah. Cooking on the trail.
That's right. Trailers, tow rigs, whatever. So if you feel inclined to, be part of a bigger community, you can go to irate4x4.com. And when you're there, you can go to Watch, Listen, and Discuss and scroll on down. You'll find Wheeling Wine and Whiskey Podcast located there. And you can click on that and see discussions for all of our past episodes and so forth and so on. You can also look on the right side of the screen. You can support the podcast. Not required, but certainly appreciated.
Absolutely. Good. No, absolutely. That's good stuff. Definitely a shout out to Austin again. Irate 4x4. Check that out if you haven't done that yet. Reviews. We got a couple of reviews, you said?
That's right. We do. And we have, we're starting, I know we've always talked about just Apple Podcasts, which used to be iTunes. That's so now it's Apple Podcasts, right? People can still go there. You have an Apple account, you can sign in, you can comment or just put in reviews for your favorite podcast. And hopefully Wheeling Wine and Whiskey is one of them. And if you haven't written a review, we're certainly encourage you to do such, but you can not only do that on Apple Podcasts, but Spotify and Google both have platforms where you can comment. So if you're on Google Podcasts or, I guess it's now YouTube Music, which I don't even want, whatever.
Yeah.
But there's a way to comment on all that stuff. So, but what the other place that we see comments now is on Spotify. And I would like to read a couple of comments that have come. I guess I have 3. And what's cool about these is they're specific to certain episodes on Spotify. So I can look through and for episode 251, which is Gotta Get Caught Up. It's one of our catch-up episodes.
Yeah, just recently, yeah.
Just recently, that's right. I got a comment here from Wadrow. He wrote this about a month ago, and he goes this: I listen constantly while melting and bending metal.
Nice.
And then so I guess he's some sort of fabricator, which is awesome. And then he goes on, I drive my wife crazy while taking road trips from northern Arizona to Phoenix on my way to take my wife to brain cancer treatments. Oh no, my gosh.
That's not good.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry for your situation.
Yeah.
Hopefully she's strong and she can recover from that. But I like this last sentence. She says she loves Chris's voice.
You're soothing.
I know.
Soothing
Yes,
voice.
I have my
You're soothing Barry White voice.
right. So that's hopefully your wife is doing okay, and we certainly appreciate the feedback.
Well, that's super cool. Yeah, my friend's wife went through that brain cancer treatment. That's no fun. That shit sucks, man. Cancer fucking sucks. Fuck cancer.
Yeah, I know. We have follow-ups on that too a little later in the episode.
Yeah.
But so on to, so a couple more reviews here. One from what happened here? Episode 255, which is how big is your hammer? Got two comments on that one. And the first one is from Dave Taylor. Hey, we know Dave Taylor.
Hey, Dave. Yeah. He's a whiskey guy.
That's right. He writes, great episode as usual. Look forward to every Tuesday because of Wheeling Wine and Whiskey. Hashtag Toyota suck.
Yes. Like David before, we like him even more now. That's great. That's perfect. He sent us some whiskey samples back in the day. You remember that?
I do.
He sent us these little bottles and little cheat sheet with everything, each whiskey, and there was some cool, rare, barrel picks and stuff like that he sent us. So, that was super cool. I didn't forget that. Won't forget that, Dave. Thank you.
Yeah, we need to get back to our roots on that too, because the episodes where we talk about whiskeys and we do tastings and blind tastings are very popular. So
really.
Oh yeah, the analytics show it. So thank you, listeners, for showing up on that.
I'm drinking water right now because it is hot, and I'm working on various things that I need my full attention for. So I can't be imbibing at this moment.
No, I'm in the same boat. I am. It's a school night for me, and I got to stay dry to go to work tomorrow.
Yep.
So
yep.
And then we have another one from that same episode from a Richard D'Agostino. He wrote this in 11 days ago. My new go-to podcast, local good people and whiskey tips. 2 thumbs up. Need a sticker. So if you've received a DM from Richard D'Agostino, Jason, he's looking for some stickers.
Yeah, I was just going to say all these people, Wadrow and who was the second guy?
Dave Taylor.
I'm sorry, Dave Taylor. I wrote down and D'Agostino was the last guy here. So DM me and we'll get you a sticker. And maybe we can get Chris to record a personal message for your wife, Wadrow. There, that'd be good since she likes your voice.
There you go. Never really thought my voice was that soothing, but maybe it is.
Yeah. I've been told I sound like Adam Carolla.
Okay.
Which I'm okay with that.
Yeah, no, he's got a good voice for sure. All right, we have one more review, and this one's on Apple Podcast. This just came in a couple days ago, and it's titled 5 Hoofs Up. So we got 5 stars. And this is from Nick J. On Apple Podcasts, and he writes, quality podcast, one of my favorite off-road related shows that I look forward to listening to every week. Occasionally Chris's breathing is a bit heavy. Yeah, well,
there you go.
Haha. Great banter and quality guests. Keep up the good work. Right on. Well, thank you for that, Nick. Appreciate the feedback.
Absolutely.
DM Jason, he'll get you some stickers sent out.
Right.
All right. I think that's it for that particular thing. Do we have any voicemails, Jason?
We don't have any voicemails.
Oh my gosh.
I think they forgot our number.
Oh, well, that's easy to remind people. It's 408-800-5169. Again, that's 408-800-5169. And if you have a short-term memory problem or a long-term memory problem, you can, on the show notes for every week's episode, the phone number is in there too. So
absolutely. Yep. So 408-800-5169. Give us a call 24/7. Lorenzo picks up.
Yeah. You never know what you're going to get when you get him though.
Oh gosh. So, okay, cool. Well, okay. So, any other business to take care of?
I don't think so. I just something that today's Monday and it's typically my day off from work.
Yeah.
So I do a few things. I run out of the house and run errands. Typically, I might go to Costco, which I did not do today. But Costco, I've talked about it on the show before. It's always an adventure. I love going on Monday morning because typically you get all the all the people are at work and whatnot. So usually I run into a lot of blue hair retirees, that
right.
that are, I don't know why they show up first thing in the morning, because it's not like they have anywhere else to be, but I guess whatever. That's
Right.
not the point. But I didn't go to Costco today, but I do stop and get fuel every Monday, whether I'm at Costco or in town here.
Sure.
And I stopped at the Safeway gas station, and on the way in, I saw, so they built this new EV charging location in this Lowe's shopping center near my house.
Boy.
So Lowe's has got a Safeway, it's got a Safeway gas, it's got a Togo's, but it also has a Subway, which I go to a lot. So on my way to the gas station this morning, there's this girl in I don't know what it was, some sort of micro-sized EV, pulled up, parked in front of one of these charging stations. I'm like, oh, that looks like fun. Okay. So I drive over to the gas station, and 5 minutes later, my truck is full of fuel, and I think, all right, I'm going to run over to the Subway and grab a Sando, and I order a Sando, and I walk out, and that same lady is at a different different EV charging. She moved the car. I don't know. She must have been having an issue.
Okay.
And she's now parked at a different EV stand, and she's yelling at the freaking at the display, trying to get the stupid thing. She's plugged in and she's trying to get this thing to charge. And she's making all these angry body motions and whatnot. No. And I'm like, this is why I have a gasoline powered car. I can drive into a gas station, fill up, and be done. And not only get gas, but get a sandwich and be done in 10 minutes while she's still trying to figure out how to start her car on a charge.
Oh boy.
And I read an article not long ago about a guy that tried the whole EV thing. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a hater completely. I think they have their place.
Right.
But, if it's I don't know, it's just a square peg in a round hole for some people. Some people it's a perfect fit, some people not.
Right.
But until they get this infrastructure thing figured out where every plug goes into every car, universally, a gas pump, every gas station, every nozzle fits in my goddamn truck. I've never had a problem getting the nozzle into my truck.
Right.
But it's kind of hit and miss if you're the plug on your EV charging station is going to fit into your car.
Right.
And then once you get it plugged in, it's kind of hit and miss as whether the thing's going to accept your credit card or whatever method of payment that they accept.
That's true.
But I don't know. Like I said, I was in and out of filling up and getting a sandwich in 10 minutes, and this woman was still trying to figure out how to start charging your car.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. That is a tough one. It's not sustainable right now. It's and then you see these the cyber trucks are showing up more and more, right? You're seeing those in the Bay Area. Actually, this weekend at Kirkwood, one of them slid off the road. I have no idea because it was dry. But
well,
people come down 88 and they make that right into Kirkwood. And I have a picture of a Tesla right next to the sign that slid off the road that came in hot. Well, there was a cyber truck there this weekend that slid off and ended up right by the sign. I'm like, what the? And those are 4-wheel drive, right?
All-wheel drive,
4-wheel drive, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what the story was there, but pretty freaking crazy. I just hybrid I think is great right now.
Yeah.
But to have no gas, 100% electric is definitely not for me, and doesn't work for my application.
No, and I think you're right. The hybrid is definitely, I think, is going to be the winner, for the near future. But I don't know, man. I mean, and that's the other part of the whole electric thing. People brag about them, and I'm happy for them. I really am, and especially if the ones that own a home, then they can plug their vehicle into their home every night when they get home from work or whatever. But for these people that are apartment dwellers or whatever, and they don't have access to a wall charger in their carport or in their whatever,
Sure.
So you're basically stuck with DC fast charging, and that's exactly the scenario I saw today at the shopping center.
Mm-hmm.
The frustration of that woman, trying to charge her car. I mean, it's I don't know. That's time is money, man. So
I know.
Anyway, I think we've beaten that one down.
But along those lines, Keith and Melissa with EV, their Team EV, the Test 10. There you go. There's your Earth Day race vehicle right there.
Right. Earth Day. Today's Earth Day.
It is. We're recording on Earth Day, Monday the 22nd, and this will hit your
about
ear holes
EVs
tomorrow morning. Yes, so there you go. So that's our contribution to Earth Day there. But no, it's cool. They're each race, each event, every time they take that out, they're learning something and getting closer and closer. And I want to get, as we talked about in the last episode, I want to get Cole and Sky Johnson there from SXOR in touch with Keith and Melissa to talk about what they've learned. As they start to put theirs together. So their SXOR electric vehicles. So anyways, it's cool. It's cool to watch it evolve. But as far as Joe Public having a 100% electric vehicle that's trying to drive across further than 20, 30 miles to work, I think is ridiculous right now.
Well, it's funny because
have you ever seen one with a Trump sticker on the back? I haven't seen one with a Trump sticker.
Dude, did you see that? I almost forwarded it. I was on Instagram today, and there was a guy that's got a Cyber Trump. It's a Cybertruck that's completely wrapped with Trump logos.
Oh, there we go. Love it. I knew that was coming. That's good. Right on.
So they're out there, for sure. But whatever. So,
okay.
All right. Well, moving on.
One up. You want to talk about something else controversial?
Sure, let's go ahead.
All right, let's talk about douche coops for a minute.
Oh boy.
So went to Oregon Dunes with the crew, the old four-wheeling crew that bought douche coops a couple years ago, I guess 4 years ago now. And
more than that for Jesse, no?
Yeah, it's been a long time for Jesse, but Dave Code of Code and Olson Law Firm.
Yeah, we haven't heard from our I guess we haven't been breaking any laws lately. We haven't heard from him in a while.
No, he's good. Everything's good. Our CPA's happy with his work and for tax season here, so that's good. But yeah, Dave and I towed it up in my enclosed trailer to Oregon Dunes, and we had a cool house that Jesse set up and Olivia. And so, anyways, I go, Dave, what whiskey are you bringing so we don't double up? So we had, between Dave and I, we had 20 individual bottles of whiskey. Nothing overlapped. So we had this whole whiskey bar set up in the trailer, which was super cool, and a Bloody Mary bar for the morning. So
do you have the ice machine going?
I did not have the ice machine going because it was cooler, and I had my good ice chest in there with ice, the old Elk ice chest, the super. It's like a freaking Yeti, So ice was plentiful. We were doing good there, but worked out really good. And it rained, like 2-3 nights. So
Imagine
able
that.
to pull the car in,
Pacific
at night.
Northwest,
So
and it was raining.
I know. Oh man, it is super wet there. It's beautiful. It's cool. The sand dunes are fun. I really like buzzing through the trees. They have these tracks going through the trees. Dense forest. And then what I didn't expect is there's like lakes out there. I mean, like ponds, I should say. I guess from all the rains over the winter. I'm assuming that it's dry in the summer, but man, there's some significant bodies of water. And then on some of the trails heading out from the dunes to the actual ocean, you can head out to the beach. Some of those got some deep, like 2.5 feet deep water holes. One I guarantee was pushing 3. I saw the ass end of Brian's rig, another supporter of the podcast there. He's got the limousine, the 4-seater like Jesse. And I was following him, and the ass end went way down. So, yeah, it was Brian's 55th birthday. So we went there to celebrate. And like I say, I signed up for this event before I even owned, a douche coupe. And they go, well, you don't even own one. I said, well, I will. I'll get one before then. And sure enough, here it is. So that's where I was. Unfortunately, missed the Sue Lee-Bun event, which you're going to go into here in a minute. But Oregon Dunes is very cool. If you ever get a chance, saw Suzuki Samurai with paddles out there. It didn't have a stock engine. It wasn't a V8 though, but I think it was like a V6 they had in there. It was running pretty strong.
I was going to ask if it had that 10% power boost on.
Yeah. Six horsepower, 10%. But yeah, very, very cool. It's a neat place. And, we were able to rent a house where you could drive right out, with your side by side. You didn't have to load up trailers and head to the dunes and back. And
that's good.
Yeah, it was very cool. Cool to check out. And we had a great group. I think Brian had a great birthday. We took him out to dinner and to some extracurricular activities afterwards that he really enjoyed. So that was fun. We'll let everybody figure that out. If you don't know, you don't need to know. And then, I headed home a couple days early to get back to the great state of Nevada. But it was a good event. Let's do a belt count. All right, how many belt burners we had? We had Jesse. Jesse had 1.
Oh, you didn't burn a belt.
I did not burn a belt. I think Brian had 2. Brian had 2 belts. Wow. Dave 0. Jason 0. Our other buddy Jim that has a brand new Can-Am. That thing actually is badass with a live valve. I mean, we were going through the whoops. There were some serious whoops at I looked down at my speedometer and we're doing almost 30. It was like 29, 30, 31 miles an hour. And he went flying by us like we were in reverse over the same whoops, and I'm like, dude. And it wasn't a horsepower thing. It was the live valve shocks in action, like we talked about with Jason Berger and Shear, the game changer. Yeah. And it is a game changer to see that funky ass suspension. You see it's like little pterodactyl arms sticking out there on those things. But
it kind of limits the tire size, right?
Yeah, the machine flat out works. But it's gear driven, so no belt. So he didn't have any issues. So,
So it's got a clutch and you shift gears.
Yes, you can shift gears. But it's like an automatic, I guess. I don't know. I wanted to drive it. I didn't get to drive it. It does have paddle shifters.
Okay, so it's probably like a dual clutch.
I don't know. I didn't want to get too involved with it because then I would want one. So mine worked flawless. It had plenty of power. I had these paddles. They're not like the regular paddles that are the big old ridge across. They kind of X, and that thing hooked up great, man. It worked really well out there. So I'll get it out here to Sand Mountain, Nevada, and go play around out there too. But I prefer the dirt, but it was fun. It was a cool deal. And like I said, Dave and Brian and Jesse and Jim and we had other friends there, Harold and Nick. So it was a good event. Good cool event, man. I think Harold blew a belt too. Yep. So Dave and I were the only ones that didn't blow a belt.
So what do you think the reason for that is?
Because we know how to drive. No, it's I put a brand new belt on and broke it in behind the house here before I left. And I know Jesse said that one of his belts was kind of on the fritz before he even got there. So that thing only lasted a day. But we're not running extra horsepower and stuff either, So, and, I just drive it and make sure it's engaged when I'm climbing and try not to slip in it and slip the clutch. But they go. It's a wear item, unfortunately. Sure. $150 wear item.
Hashtag Jason money.
No. Nope. I got one spare belt. So when it goes, then that's it. The thing gets parked.
That's right. And then you save up your your pennies until you can, or your aluminum cans, trade them in so you can get a new belt.
Yeah. Yeah,
Perfect.
exactly.
Recycle your bottles.
So there you go.
Well, right on. Well, you mentioned
Sue
while
Lee-Bun.
you were up there having a good time, I had a good time. I mean,
It looked like a great time.
I attended the Sue Lee-Bun fundraiser that was put on by Kelly and a few other people that were super instrumental in making that happen. As listeners know, Sue Lee-Bun has lung cancer, pretty involved lung cancer, and the treatment for that is expensive.
Yes.
So between health insurance coverages and so forth, and or shortages on that, it's just the bills add up real fast. So
were you telling me I heard like $400 or $4,500 every week for the treatment that they have to cover? That
right, I heard 3,500 or 4,000 per every treatment, and I don't know if the treatments are weekly or monthly or whatever they are, but that's a big nut. So obviously, they Kelly was instrumental in getting this thing started to rally the troops to make get donations for the raffle. And people showed up, man. I mean, a lot of raffle prizes were brought in, and a lot of people showed up. And I do got to say, the weather sucked. It absolutely sucked. And I mean, we were, obviously in California in the spring or late winter, it's a crapshoot as to what you're going to get weather wise. And it just decided a storm was going to move in, and this was like the perfect storm, the way it moved up the coast, and it was doing a south to north action just a long way up the central. I was at work in Walnut Creek in the morning. I left to drive to Sacramento like 9:00, and the entire drive from Walnut Creek to Prairie City, it was pouring down rain. I mean, freaking accidents galore on Interstate 80.
Yeah, and it was just sitting there. I mean, it wasn't fast mover, man. That was a slow storm, and it just dumped.
Slow soaker. Well, it wasn't a slow soaker. It was a slow moving, heavy rain.
Yeah,
nonstop. And then get to Prairie City, and there was a lot of people there. It was a great turnout despite the weather. And I will say that, or I'd like to say that, the weather kept some people away. It was a huge turnout and a great turnout despite the weather. But if it was a nice, warm, sunny day, I would like to think that the turnout would have been even more epic.
Sure. Yeah. Well, and what a testament, though, for that many people to brave the weather and go out, I mean, that just goes to show you, again, how cool our community is. And yeah, I was behind the scenes with all the emails and stuff and text streams. And Kelly, man, just put in numerous hours amongst other people. And I know, Tyler there at Morflate, he put some serious funds up to help out with insurance and stuff there to make sure the event was covered. And there was a lot of people behind the scenes that made this happen. It's unfortunate that it rained because I know they had the car show that they were going to do. Live auction and they made the best with what they had. But it's everybody I talked to had a great time. They enjoyed seeing everybody. Sue was out there in the elements, and
she looked great.
Yeah, and had a smile on her face, and she's just happy-go-lucky. I love it. So wishing her the best, and you heard the dollar amount that they raised.
What's that?
The dollar amount that they raised.
Oh yeah, I heard it was around 20,000, and I'm sure it's larger than that. So
yeah.
That's epic. I mean, they had a line. So they had set up the sales for the raffle tickets inside of Tyler's enclosed trailer. He brought that, or I guess Ozzy brought it in with his truck. And thank God they had easy ups, a whole bunch of easy ups, and they had the enclosed trailer. And so all the raffle items were inside the enclosed trailer, and people just lined up and got to preview stuff and throw down their cash to get their opportunity to win some of those badass raffle prizes. I threw down, a few bucks, and unfortunately I came away empty handed, but the money obviously goes to a great cause. And I gladly, paid that for, and not getting anything is fine. I mean, it's totally fine.
Charity. helping out.
Exactly. So, wandered around quite a bit, saw a lot of great people, ran into, let's see, Beer Andy was there, and I saw Lenny and Tom Rosa.
Okay.
Of course, Rhonda Davenport was there, and she was helping with the sales of the raffle tickets. Of course, Renee was in there. I saw John Allen, and Renee, of course. Everybody knows them from Sierra Trek.
Yeah, the chairs from Sierra Trek. former chairs of Sierra Trek.
So they're no stranger to organized events, that's for sure. And Renee was in the thick of it, which was great. And then Warren, and I think I saw that Kevin Poole was there, but I don't think I physically saw him wandering around when I was wandering around.
Okay.
Ran into some listeners of the show, handed out a bunch of stickers. If you saw me, I was more than willing to share some stickers, but a special shout out to John and his wife Kendra, who drove up from San Jose. Super cool people. They're fans of the show. Gave him some stickers, and told him I'd give him a shout out on the show. So there you go, John.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah. So but a lot of rigs, and even Tyler had Tyler didn't bring it. I guess Sean, or one of the more flaters, MFers as he calls them, towed it down. Had the Forerunner with the tracks.
Yes.
The Ruby tracks.
Ruby tracks.
Yeah, that thing, man. I walked up. That thing is massive with those things on there. It's like, holy smokes.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to get out on that thing in the winter, next winter.
Well, you saw the videos from them going up recently to the, Meadow Lake area.
No, I didn't see those videos.
Oh, that's right. You're not on the Instagrams.
I popped on my birthday, but then I logged back out.
Well, there you go. It's cool. And I talked to Nick, from Avalanche Technical, about it, and they're actually, Jimmy interviewed the owner of Ruby Tracks. It's a good interview. You can go listen to that. Pretty cool stuff, man. I'd love to have something like that set up.
Now that you've said it, you probably will.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So anyway, if I said hi to you, or you said hi to me at the fundraiser out at Prairie City, I'm glad we got to connect, and I was happy to be out there. Oh, and JL Latte Rodney was out there also. So shout out to him. And I know he threw a few bucks down at the raffle. And I guess the big prize was that generator. They gave away a Generac generator.
Or Generac or Furman?
It was Generac.
Oh, okay.
And a big 3,000 water, I believe. And it was, if you bought $100 worth of raffle tickets, you got the special ticket for the generator giveaway.
Okay.
Yeah, the bonus ticket. So yeah, a lot of happy people. Great cause. Hopefully it pays off, and we'll keep Sue around for a lot longer.
Yes, absolutely. And just to reiterate, that $1,500 were raised with the Justin Wicks poster, and that got donated there. I made sure that got into Kelly's hands. So, and then there was one poster that Ozzy bought. Right, Justin, and so that got put into the raffle too, I believe. So
it did.
Okay,
a woman won it, and I think she knows what she got. So
nice. That's
very cool.
Well, good to see the community come together once again, and it's just good to be part of that community.
Heck yeah. A lot of people ask where you. Huh?
Nobody asked where I was.
People were asking. John Allen's like, "Where's Jason? Where's your sidekick?" I said, "I don't know. He's up in Oregon." He's like, "Where? What? Oregon? Or a what?"
It's been a busy few months here. I'm looking forward to spring, and just doing some camping in the camper, and just close by stuff, and enjoying the area here in the Sierras. So. Have you even thrown a line in a creek yet? Not yet. Fishing season hasn't officially opened. Now there are some that are year round, but it's coming up though. It is coming up.
Good.
So that's good. Well, awesome. It's what do they say? Bad roads bring good people. So maybe even bad weather and bad roads, muddy roads bring good people. So that's our off road community there.
It was the roads at Prairie City were definitely muddy. My white truck was a little muddy pulling out.
Oh boy, I bet. Yeah. You were worried about the 2-wheel drive only, huh?
Yeah, I had no issues though, fortunately, and I figured if I did have issues, there were plenty of people that have been more than willing to help Wheeling Wine and Whiskey's co-host out. So
I'm sure there's plenty of toast wraps and witches around.
Right.
Yeah. That's cool. That's good stuff.
Yep. Sorry you missed it, but it was definitely worthwhile.
I hated to miss it. We were, talking about dates, and I put out the dates that I had, and I put out dates that I wasn't available, and then unfortunately it was because NorCal Rock Race got kind of moved around too.
Right.
Because it was going to be that weekend that NorCal Rock Race was. And I'm like, okay, that'd work out great. But then it got pushed back a weekend because of NorCal Rock Race, and then here we are. So can't be everywhere. Yeah,
God, imagine if NorCal Rock Race happened that week.
Oh my gosh! Well, it wasn't that much better the weekend before. You saw how muddy
that's
everybody
true.
was.
It was
getting.
pretty muddy, but I don't know if it was actively raining.
It wasn't actively raining on that Saturday during the race. Yes, you're right. That was a shit show too. Gosh. Anyways,
crazy.
Hey, as we know, Chris, working outside all these years, you can't control the weather.
Nope, you can't. And then, so that broke up, and people started to scatter pretty quick because it was wet and muddy. And I headed home, and it rained. So this is like 2:00 in the afternoon. It rained from all the way down to Livermore. Solid rain.
Wow.
It never ended. It rained all day, which in California, that's a pretty rare event. The storms kind of roll through and you get these cells, right? But this was crazy. It was just a crazy wet day. So saw a few car crashes, and people just need to slow the fuck down when they're on the freeways and rain like that.
No, for
just
sure.
Crazy shit. It's just like, what? I'm doing like 60, and I could feel the truck getting a little squirrely, and people are blowing by me. I'm like, what in the fuck are you on?
What in the actual fuck?
So, but yeah. Anyway, good day. Otherwise,
no, good stuff. Let's see what else here. Oh, so got to ski with a legend again at Mammoth.
Oh yeah, Mr. Plake.
Mr. Plake.
He's back in the United States.
He came back. Kimberly stayed in Chamonix.
Yeah,
and
France.
And anyways, he was back. So I texted him. I said, "Hey, what's your status? I'm going to head to Mammoth for just a quick trip, and if you're around," because I knew his brand newly painted big red RV was in the parking lot from seeing post on Instagram, and that thing came out sweet. It was the first time I saw it in person. He sent me pictures as they were sandblasting it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, what a mess! But then the paint, and then the custom pinstriping, it all hand done. It came out super sweet, man. So yeah, skied all mid morning to late afternoon with him, and I've learned when he asked where you want to go, I just said, don't take me off any cliffs, and there was some gnarly stuff, spring skiing. But that mountain, just over 11,000 feet at the top. Even though it's slushy at the bottom, it could be good at the top and firm. And it was. I mean, there was just that wind was blowing, and it kept the snow. And there was this one Dave's Run, which is a famous run there. So you go down that, and it was good, not super soft spring stuff, but it was good, but pretty damn technical. And then he's looking up and he goes, "Oh yeah, see hangman's there. You want to do hangman's?" And I go, "No, I don't want to do anything with hangman's in the name right now." And he goes, "Okay, well, so we went back up there, and my other buddy that's a really good skier was with us, and I go, "Hey, I'm going to ski around the rock. I'll meet you guys at the base of that chute, the hangman chute." So I just stayed in my lane, man. I didn't want to get over the handlebars, and I was feeling good, doing good, but I had no reason to die that day. So my buddy.
No Reason to Die. That's the name of this episode right there.
No Reason to Die. So I go, hey, you guys have fun. I'll meet you around. I'm going to ski or traverse around this rock, and I'll see you down there. And so went down, and they made it, and of course Glenn, no problem, and said, yeah, that was a little gnarly. Okay, cool. And then we skied a bunch of other runs, had a blast, and then there was another run. I forgot the name of that one. Oh, the Chamois shoot, whatever. But I go, nah, I'm gonna go over to Scotty's. It's looking a little bit better for you. Still steep as F, man. But so I went down, meet Glenn at the base of the hill, and he goes, yeah, that was a slide for life. He goes, I was on my edges hard. And this is coming from a freaking, world-class professional, level
extreme skier
that's done shit all around the world on skis. And when he says, yeah, it was a slide for life, and I was pushing the edges hard. And I'm like, okay, I'm so glad I missed that. He goes, yeah, that was a good call. You weren't on that one. So, but yeah, we skied
No Reason to Die today.
What's cool is, people obviously recognize he's not flying the Hawk, but he's recognizable, and you hear the laugh and everything. And then, so, he stopped, get pictures with everybody and talk to people, and, just super cool. So that was fun. But yeah, he's going to head back to France, and then we'll circle back after that and hopefully get some wheeling in this summer. So,
oh yeah, wheeling season's coming up.
But spring skiing has been absolutely phenomenal. We've had a wonderful spring after kind of a dud of a start of the ski season, but spring skiing has been just epic. And this was a funny story because my buddy that skied with me at Mammoth and Glenn, we call him Pickle Rick, and we skied on April 5th at Kirkwood. Over in Rooter Bowl and stuff. Just you gotta traverse out there and hike out there a bit to get to it. But it was one of our best ski days. We got done that day. We were sore and tired and beat up, but it was fluffy champagne blower pow. And we were just sitting there going like, this has to be our number one or number two ski day of all time.
Yeah, you don't get that kind of conditions very often around here.
No, and especially in late spring. I mean, what the hell? No. That's the California. You just never know, man. The land of fruits and nuts, and even the weather's a little queer. So, we go. One of my horticulture teachers in Cal Poly said that. I'll never forget that one. But we were telling Glenn about this day, and he goes, dude, I was at Mammoth. I think that was my best ski day. And again, guy that skied around the world in every freaking condition. And it was just one of those epic storms that just dumped some cold blower pow in the Sierras. And man, anybody that was out there, it was phenomenal. We finished up. We chairlifts closed at 4:00. We were one of the last ones up. Hiked out, so it took like a half an hour to get out there. So it's like, 4:40 or so. I mean, the resort is like closing. They're shutting, everything's shut down. But ski patrol was down at the bottom, watching us come down, and we got down to the bottom. And I go, dude, excellent freaking day. He goes, yeah, that was a killer day. So, yeah, good freaking stuff, man. So it's not done yet. Good old Squaw Valley. Whatever they call it now. I still call it Squaw Valley. That's still turning, and Mammoth will be going till Memorial Day. So
all the other places shut down now, like Heavenly and.
Yep, Heavenly's last weekend. A lot of them shut down this last weekend. This was the last hoo-ha. So they all had their pond skims and stuff like that. So.
That's why everybody's pushing to get on the Rubicon now, because the resorts are closing down.
That's it. And then, so I'll hopefully get a couple more ski days in here in the spring skiing, and then that'll be it. Skis
Put the boards away and call it good. Well, unless you start flying to the Southern Hemisphere like you promised.
Well, that or, you take the snowmobiles up to areas. But we were out snowmobiling this weekend, and I've been a member of the Lake Tahoe Snowmobile Club for couple years and never been to a club event, because it's always been like, if I got a choice between snowmobiling or skiing, I choose skiing. And so anyways, it lined up where I could go this past weekend, and Nick was there, Sick Nick from Avalanche Technical. A few of the other, Big Pete was there. So got to catch up with him, and we were at Donner Ski Ranch, the last family-owned ski resort here.
I've skied there
in the Sierras, and so they had closed the weekend before, and then they opened it up to us to go out and cruise around the resort. And what a cool deal! I mean, everybody was just like, "I've never snowmobiled at a ski resort, or at least not legally." And so that was pretty cool. Duncan Lee was there, so anybody that snowmobiles knows about him. He's a local up here, and they built this crazy kicker jump at the top of this black run at the top of the summit, and they were launching and dropping down this black diamond run. It was cool, and you got Donner Lake in the background. It's beautiful views, beautiful weather. I mean, it was almost too hot. A lot of people running around in just t-shirts, or I was just wearing a light sweater. But man, so much fun. So that was good. And it's good to see Sick Nick was out there with the Ron Burgundy.
Oh.
The quad with the tracks.
Yeah.
And originally it was just...
He's driven that into Rubicon Springs,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So originally it was just Saturday, Sunday that you could, ride. But Friday afternoon, they got the waivers there and got the green light. So we were able to go out Friday afternoon. Well, it was warm and it was slushy, and he got soaked, man. It was like he was in the middle of a snowstorm because all four tracks are just throwing shit 10 feet in the air, and it's just coming down on him.
Should have been wearing rain gear.
He needed to be dressed up like the Gordon's fisherman, man. I told him, I said, you need to go get a big brain slicker. So that was pretty comical. He was soaking wet that night, but got his gear dried out. He put everything in his he's got one of those nice Bigfoot campers. So he said he hung everything in his bathroom and cranked on the heater, and everything dried that night. So
perfect.
So that's cool. But yeah, the next morning it was firmed up. It didn't freeze. I wouldn't say it froze that night, but things did firm up, and it was a lot better riding conditions for him that morning. And yeah, there was easily over 150 sleds there. You had to drop them off at the ski resort and then go park. So everybody had left their sleds there overnight, and at the ski resort. So they were all lined up. It was pretty cool. And everything from some really old relic sleds to the best, newest sleds out there that were ripping around.
Like something that was Enticer would drive or whatever.
Who's that?
Just send it.
Oh, Larry and Tyson. Yeah, so Larry the old sled, there was some old sleds like that. Yeah, there was some old classic sleds like that. Exactly.
You're silly. I'm just going to send it.
It was cool. And there was a bunch of kids out there. They had this big freaking, I think they call it Edna the Elephant. It's a huge old military vehicle that is a DJ stand, and they crank in the music.
Oh, that's cool.
All day Saturday into the night. And, they had the bar and the restaurant open at the resort, and it's just cool. They had vendors there. It was good. I met a ton of people. So if I met you there, nice to meet you. I handed out some stickers.
Good.
Too. So, because it all crosses over. A lot of these people have dirt bikes and off-road vehicles and, all that fun stuff.
Jeeps or Toyotas.
Douche coupes. Yeah. Toyotas, whatever. We need Don to call back in. Donnie, call in.
Hashtag what? Hey, so you that's super cool. I'd like to get back on a snowmobile. That sounds like it'd be my speed to be on groomed trails and kind of an open area. I don't know about going on the backcountry shit because that just is too much work.
Backcountry's tough. We did backcountry late yesterday afternoon. Sunday afternoon, we went over to Red Lakes off of 88 by Kirkwood and over by Blue Lake. And we, you have to side hill. You can't just sit on your ass and you're standing up the entire time. You have to side hill the sled. You got to work it.
We got you got to dig it out.
Yeah. We got into some trees and it started getting pretty hairy, and it was getting later in the afternoon. And I told my buddy, I said, hey, let's turn around. And I got turned around okay and headed the right direction. And he was on the struggle bus a little bit, so it took a little while to get out of there.
Struggle bus, perfect.
But he did it, and he was just wiped out. And I warned him. I said, I don't even want to go down in there. No, let's go down in there. So he chose to go down in there, and he paid the price. But yeah, I got reacquainted with the sled, and Big Pete's like, yeah, we gotta go out. Well, he's freaking badass snowmobiler, and Horton, so I got to get my skills up to speed to ride with those guys. But we got a good group, and great club. They pulled off a great event there. So Sled-nanigans 1 is what they called it.
Sled-nanigans, nice.
Sled-nanigans. They had a cool little tiki logo, and yeah, good stuff, man. So shout out to Lake Tahoe snowmobilers for doing a cool event.
Right on, man. Right on.
So I got a couple rental sleds. You can ride one next year when the snow starts flying again.
Perfect. Yeah,
we got them all tuned up, ready to go.
I get in shape.
Yeah.
So. Speaking of Toyotas and whatnot, our good friend Lee Lim, I guess, had quite the adventure at Cruise Moab last week.
Oh man, yeah. I looked on the old Instagrams there, and I saw this rig belly up. I mean, full belly up.
Oh yeah, no.
All 4 tires in the air. Yep. And
Lee's okay, everybody.
I go, wait, why is he posting this? Because I couldn't tell exactly whose rig it was. And then I started reading and scrolling, and I'm like, oh fuck, that's the Cruising to Camp overloader rig.
The white whale.
And, the white whale. The white whale. So yeah, I talked to them yesterday. They were on their way back, Jimmy and Lee, and he was in good spirits, all things considered. But yeah, that sucks because that's his daily, and he's always pushed the limits. The old fuck around and find out. But
right,
it really sucks. So it sounds like they're gonna find another body, rebuild it, and he will ride again. But the luxury cruiser is
down for the count.
It didn't look so bad in the picture. I go, hey, it looks like maybe kind of can fix a few things. But they said they needed to use a high lift jack to straighten out the front A pillar enough so that Lee could get in and get enough headroom to wheel it down while it was being towed back to the pickup spot. So unfortunate, man. It sucks. I know we make fun of Toyotas and stuff, but I don't like to see anything like that happen. Luckily, he wasn't hurt.
Right. That's the most important
I heard he
thing.
did, that old instinct of sticking your arm out the window to stop, he did that for a split second and he brought it back in. So he didn't get hurt. Thank God. And nobody else did around, but yeah, that's just sucks. So I told Lee, I said, it's time now to get a buggy and a nice Ford pickup truck to tow it around with.
Well, any truck would be fine.
Yeah,
except
Ford
the Toyota.
Better. Yeah, or
whatever.
Right.
The most vehicles I see broken down on the side of the road just happen to be Ford pickups. But
there you go. So there you go. So, anyways, but he's good, and it will be interesting to see this journey unfold. Of I guess people have already reached out and said, "Hey, I got a body, that you can put on and transfer everything over." Because the drivetrain, I guess, is okay, right? It was just a flop over. Unfortunately, just ended up on the lid, not its side. So.
Yeah, all the mechanicals should be perfect.
Yeah.
It's a good time to to nut and bolt it while it's upside down too.
Well, that's true. It's a good time to just kind of degrease, check things out, and
give it a belly rub.
Right. Well, rub that belly. The right rear tires start shaking.
Exactly. Oh, it's happy now.
Yeah. So good luck with that rebuild, Lee, and just Jeep. Get a Jeep now. Get
a Jeep.
If you want to do hardcore wheeling, get a rig like that.
Talk to Rodney. He'll point you in the right direction.
Or what would be cool if he did put a truck body on that thing? That'd be cool.
Oh, there you go.
I gotta imagine that's cheaper than putting another LX body on there or something.
Tundra body on a cruiser frame.
Right. But anyways, we'll I'm sure there's going to be a full snail trail episode on that whole deal.
Yep, for sure.
I don't want to reiterate what they told me because we'll hear it from the horse's mouth, but it was just kind of a side hill deal and just gravity took over.
Shit happens fast sometimes, you know. So,
well, what else? Hey, we got a 5-year anniversary here.
I know. Do you believe that?
So our first teaser episode, the very first, episode 0, was released on 4/19/2019.
Wow.
2019, 5 fucking years ago. And then our first episode 1, where we introduce ourselves. I should go back and listen to that. It probably sounds so terrible. That was God. May 7th. May 7th.
Holy smokes. So you're
that's
right,
coming up real quick. We got to figure out our 5-year anniversary thing. Sounds like we need a party.
We have to have a bender. go on a bender. So yeah, that is right. We may not be able to, I'd like to do that face to face, obviously. We'll have to look at our schedules off the air and see if we can make that happen.
Yeah.
It definitely calls for a celebration of some kind.
Yes, it does.
We haven't killed each other in 5 years, which is great.
No.
Although you did try to kill me at King of the Hammers. But,
well, yeah, and you tried to kick me off the podcast, so I guess we're even.
Well, there you go.
Oh shit. So yeah, it's good stuff, man. Yeah, we've got some more interviews to do and stuff, but yeah, we'll have to talk off air here and figure out what we're going to do for 5 years. This snuck right up on us here.
I know, my God. Well, 5 years snuck up on us. I mean, think about all the life events that have happened in the 5 years, and that's what we can kind of go over during that episode. Just all the different things that have happened and not happened and whatever. So it's on a general note, it's mostly all been positive. I mean,
the people we've met and everything. Oh my gosh. And we're like legitimate LLC now, and
with taxes, we didn't know, but
oh my God, that was crazy. What a mess this year with tax. Don't even mention taxes around capital gains tax.
I'm still waiting for the state.
California.
I'm still waiting for the state to pay me my money. They
right. Good luck with that.
I know they're.
Well, I know they have plenty to pay you because I paid them plenty, more than enough to pay you and 20 of your friends.
Right. So, all right. Well, yep. Right. So future episode will be a 5-year anniversary celebration, it sounds like. And of course, we've alluded to numerous times, we've got a lot of people in the pipeline that we're going to be talking to, whether we bring them in over the interwebs or if we travel to go visit them face to face and record, which is always our preferred way of doing it because it's more fun. It's just a lot more fun. So
Maybe we'll have our 5-year anniversary up here at Genoa Bar, the oldest bar in Nevada.
Oh, there you go. That'd be kind of fun.
Lorenzo just perked up. He hasn't been to the Genoa Bar in quite a while.
Oh, great. Being there sniffing all the braziers and whatnot.
Exactly. He almost got thrown out last time.
I'm sure, probably thinking, how many nipples did donkeys have? And
oh God, I don't know where you go with that. They said something about no asses allowed or something.
Oh well, there you go.
But they allow horses.
Well, and Harleys too. So, but
big Harley bar, man. That's
for sure.
Motorcycle bar. The owner's a big Harley guy. So yeah, cool stuff. Well, what else? Anything else on your list?
I got nothing else. We're pretty much caught up at this point. So
sweet.
I think we've done a good job bringing everybody up to speed, and more to come.
Yeah, it was a good episode last week with the Cole and Sky from SXOR, and good to hear their update. We got I talked to a few people that were really excited for those guys and everything that they're doing. So,
they're good people.
We'll continue the interviews and keep things rolling.
Yeah,
and we got wheeling season right here on our doorstep. So we'll have some fun wheeling stuff coming up here. So we got Safety Clinic coming up the third weekend in May at Hollister Hills, which sold out in a day or whatever, day and a half. So looking forward to that. And,
Ellen needs to get her rig fixed. What's the story on that?
I don't know. Something. I saw the emergency email last night that she needed a tow, so we'll have to follow up on that. But yeah, good stuff, man. All right. Hee haw.
Hee haw.
All right.
Hee-haw.
With that,
we're out.